All right, today we're going to go on a journey of absolutely incredible scale. We're starting small, microscopic, with the code that literally makes you, well, you. And from there, we're going to zoom all the way out, past our planet, past our sun, right to the very edge of everything we know. It's all about figuring out our place in this universe. Ready? Let's dive in.
So, it all kicks off with this one kind of profound question. How in the world is the tiny little bit of code inside you, your DNA, connected to the fiery hearts of the most distant stars? I know, it sounds pretty out there, right? Almost impossible. But trust me, as we're about to see, that connection is way more real, and honestly more mind-blowing than you can even imagine.
So, where do we kick off this massive journey? Well, we're going to start with something we all know pretty well. Ourselves, the human body. Yep, before we go looking out at the stars, we've got to look inward. We need to get a handle on the basic building blocks that make us, well, us.
Okay, think about this for a second. Every single living thing you've ever laid eyes on, I'm talking everything from a tiny blade of grass to a gigantic blue whale, it's all built from a blueprint. And that entire incredibly complex blueprint is written in a code that uses just 4 letters: A, T, C, and G. That's it. These 4 little molecules, adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, they are the entire alphabet for all of life as we know it. Isn't that wild?
So what's this machine of life actually made of? You might be surprised. It's mostly water. Seriously, it's not just something you drink to stay hydrated. It's literally what you are. Just look at this breakdown. Your body as a whole, about 60% water. But check out the really important parts. Your brain and heart, they're nearly 3/4 water. And your lungs? A whopping 83%. You see, water is the stage where all the chemistry of life gets to play out. And to keep this incredibly complex water-based machine running smoothly, pretty much everything hangs on this one single number, 37 degrees Celsius, or 98.6 Fahrenheit. Your body is working 24/7 in this constant, delicate balancing act just to hold that exact temperature. Think of it like this. It's the perfect operating temperature for the software of life, to make sure it runs without ever crashing.
Okay, so we've got this incredible, finely tuned biological machine, right? And it's humming along in its perfect conditions. But here's the thing. This machine can't just exist anywhere. It needs a very, very specific home, a place with just the right environment. And to find that place, we have to pull back. I mean, way back. It's time to zoom out and find our little cosmic address.
All right, let's start with our closest neighbor out there, the moon. You look up at night and it seems huge, right? But in reality, its diameter is just a bit under 3,500 kilometers. Okay, got that number? 3,500. Just kind of lock that away for a second because we're about to see how it stacks up.
And here we go, our first big jump in scale. Our home, planet Earth, measures in at over 12,700 kilometers across. So what does that mean? It means you could line up almost 4 moons side by side, and they just about fit inside the width of our planet. All of a sudden, Earth feels pretty huge, doesn't it? But believe me, we are just getting warmed up. Yeah, if you thought that last jump was big, you might want to brace yourself for this one. The heart of our solar system, our sun, it's a staggering 1.4 million kilometers across. It's a number so big it's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. So let's try to put it in a way that actually makes sense. And there you have it. This is the comparison that just changes everything. The sun isn't just a little bigger. It's more than 100 times wider than our entire planet. Just try to picture that, lining up 100 Earths, one after another, just to get from one side of the sun to the other. That is the incredible scale of the star that makes all of this possible. Okay, so we have these absolutely gigantic objects separated by distances that are just, well, they're almost unimaginable. To even start to make sense of this kind of scale, our usual rulers like kilometers or miles just don't cut it. We need a new one, a universal one. And that means we have to talk about the fastest thing in the entire universe, light. Now, this isn't just a suggestion. It's not like a highway speed limit. This is a fundamental law of physics. The speed of light isn't just fast. It is the absolute speed limit of the universe. Nothing gets faster. It's a cosmic barrier, and it absolutely cannot be broken. So what is that cosmic speed limit? Here's the raw number, 299,792 kilometers per second. Let's just round that up to a nice clean 300,000 kilometers. And that's not per hour or per minute, that's every single second. It's a speed so insane the number itself is almost meaningless. So let's try to make it make sense. Okay, let's try to make this speed feel a little more real. In the time it takes you to just snap your fingers, 1 second, a beam of light could zip around the entire Earth 7.5 times. The entire planet, 7.5 times in a single second. That's just incredible.
But here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Even at that ridiculous, blistering speed, space is just so unbelievably vast. I mean, look at this journey. 1 second to circle the Earth 7.5 times, right? And yet, it takes that same beam of light over 8 minutes just to get from the Sun to us. And to get to our closest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, that trip, going at the fastest speed the universe allows, takes more than 4 years. Wow. And that brings our whole journey full circle. Remember where we started? With that simple 4-letter code that builds all of life. And we end here with a 4-year journey for light just to get to the next star over. What this really shows us is that it's all connected. The laws of physics that build the stars and the laws of chemistry that build you and me, it's all part of the same incredible, vast, interconnected design.
So, as we wrap up this little trip through the scales of the universe, it leaves us with one last big thought, doesn't it? If our own biology, the very code inside of us, is so deeply tied to the physics of the cosmos, you just have to wonder, right? What other secrets is the universe hiding? What other amazing connections are we just about to discover?